Another thing that I thought was interesting in listening to the both of you, when we talk about the Mayan people and the primarily mestizo people who are kin farmers, is that oftentimes the perception is that they're not very knowledgeable or educated people. And for example, the folks down in the city, that we're the educated bunch. But based on their consistent actions, it's clear that they know the information, the processes, what the pros and cons are. And I absolutely love the idea, and you see with the Mayans as well, that they bring families. The women and the children are a part of that traditional process. Yes, Samiyyah.
I love that, and as important is that in some of the reports, they talked about the fact that the cane farmers went through scrupulously, like detailed, word by word, the information in the letter from AS, line by line, word by word. And so, and I love that because with that, you don't miss important things. The way that we watch our news, or, Belize people, lots of us watch our news, we're just kind of skimming over things and we're not really dissecting things and really, doing what we do on this show.
They did what the president of the Senate didn't do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what?
You don't just accept things on a whole without really going through and detailing what's going on, because with that, people slip things over your head, whether, and it could be even mistakes, as as one Senator Lizarraga had pointed out in one of the bills that had passed.
Exactly.
That you had pointed out, as a matter of fact, that
that
was
same time, right?
Exactly. That there was a major mistake in there, but they missed it because you're not paying attention. They're not reading, and with everybody, we have to start paying attention in detail to what's going on in our country, what's going on around us.
And at the end of the day, it simply shows that they're not doing their job, they're failing the people. With that, I think we can transition into the immigration scandal, but not before making this minute point about the same, line by line. I was commenting to someone that it was to the point that a motion was being passed, actually it had already been passed, and they said a legally binding agreement to be signed between BSI, they had BSI ASR, but after that they were like, no, just BSI, to that point it was amazing. I'm intrigued. Yeah, so BSI, the BSCFA, the association, and the government, three, right? So between three, the motion had already passed, and someone came up and said, no, you need to change between, because between it's just two entities, but it has to be among, because now you're talking about three. I was like, grammar was being dealt with at that. I'm sure children were learning that there.
Yes.
So the passport scandal. I'm going to give you the introduction.
We'll probably get the passport scandal in the second break.
One more thing.
In the second segment.
I was concerned about, and actually, it's not that I discovered it, but the cane farmers themselves brought it up, the fact that one of the things that they objected to was the fact that the company, or BSI/ASR, wanted to say that once a price was agreed, before even talking about the price, that would be the end of the discussion about byproducts. Because as I understand it, their original memorandum of association says that there's future discussion on byproducts, but bagasse is the byproduct that we're discussing right now. But that's crazy, and again, it's oppression to say that any byproducts that come out later on, like, we don't talk about that, especially if you're being paid for sugar, you're now agreeing on a price for bagasse, but any other byproducts, we don't get paid for that. And but the thing that struck me about this bagasse situation from the beginning is that the bagasse thing is not like the company, it's not ASR developed the idea of bagasse as, that's the thing, that's world technology, that's where the world is going right now. So if the world technology advances such that there's a new use for sugar cane, you don't get to profit off that and tell them that, no, well, you guys only get bagasse and sugar. It was an oppressive move, and I love that the sugar cane farmers noticed it and pointed out and jumped on it.
And let me just share this part of the editorial that I think fits perfectly with what happened with the cañeros. The special individuals, as they climbed the ladder, received stamps of approval from the bosses of the game. These individuals were considered safe. They were not volatile or revolutionary, and they were therefore eligible for integration into the game run by the bosses, the same game which was designed to crush the majority of the roots people. And so you have these cañeros who are not playing by the game. And so then the people who believe they have the power, okay, we're going to go to court, but till then, this is what you have to do. And the cañeros are saying, if you think the threat off, you have to get this crop season started, is going to force us to move. They're very resolute. This is what we want. And so how do you think this is going to fare out?
Well, I've already said I think the Prime Minister will have to be at those meetings because neither side is going to give.
But then another thing that concerned me, even the Prime Minister being at the meeting, the Prime Minister had the face of brass to say that if they don't come to an agreement for the crop season to start, they're not going to fix the roads.
But
That's madness.
know, right?
I questioned the Prime Minister sitting down at the meeting if he would say something as crazy as that.
I think you need to have both sides so you make headway, and I don't think there should be the excuse as to, well, you don't have all the people here who can make a decision.
Yeah.
In terms of BSI, ASR. So
Right. And then we want to just take a page out of the book. There are a group of people who are trained as mediators in Belize now. You may need to capitalize on those mediators to try to resolve. These are people who have skills to resolve conflicts. You may want to tap into their team of knowledge and find out how you could resolve issues like this. Because, to be honest, every day that goes by, all of us as Belizeans stand a great chance of losing in a big way.